Hi guys, my name's Lindy and welcome back to Raising Reality. Not sure on the title of this video, but it's about divine compliments, and I will think of the title once I've done the sharing first. So I do hope you are all doing and keeping well. So to start with, what is a divine compliment? A divine compliment is a person, an energy, an embodiment of that person in essence, spirit, soul form as a human being that is a perfect, as the name would suggest, complement for the energetics that you are the embodiment of. So a divine complement is, as the name suggests, a perfect complement that is on the same stream of consciousness energy. That is a really, really good match for where your energy is, your spiritual energy, your soul energy, you as a human being, and their energy, their spiritual energy, their soul energy, and them as a human being. And it doesn't matter if they've come a very different route to you. It is a really good match, great synergy, if you like, a great flow of energy between two beings, human beings, that are very close energetic matches. And this often happens when the two people involved have cleared enough of their stuff. That's belief systems, projections, old wounding. And listen to the wording I said there. I didn't say cleared all of their stuff, so there's nothing left, because there's a lot of people out there that feel they've cleared all of their stuff, so there's nothing left. But I've yet to encounter a human being that hasn't got something in their field that is still a result of a belief system, projection, or reflection, or something, because that's part of being human and part of being a human being. But enough of it that they are far more conscious. They are accessing far more of their portal of their heart, far more of their higher self. And they've cleared a lot of their stuff, done a lot of their stuff, and they are at a point in their evolution where it is beneficial to them both to vibrationally and frequency call in a match that matches their universal consciousness, their spiritual consciousness, their soul, their vibration, their frequency, them as a human being. And it is like two sides of the same coin, or the sun and the moon. It isn't, when I say that, it isn't what I mean as opposites, quite the opposite. It is perfect harmony, a harmonic balance between two really beautifully matched energies that come into orbits around each other and start to do this. This again, the spiral, but also vortex of creation. They come into this with one another with those infinite possibilities, that powerhouse amplified potential for creation from spaces of source love, universal love, unconditional love. They are able to create, they are able to coexist, exist with one another with much more harmony and balance than the average old kind of connection. Why? Because both of them have cleared more of their stuff, let's say, than maybe a lot of people have, because it's an evolutionary step. So they've cleared a lot of their stuff. They're reasonably, listen to the language, I didn't say totally because people fluctuate, reasonably in balance, and their spiritual energy, soul energy, and predominant resting state of energy, so that the frequency that they're predominantly putting out is in synergy, or is harmonious, it's in sync. And when these magical moments happen, when divine compliments come in, and as you know, I only speak on things that I am experienced. This is an experiential channel based entirely on experience, or have experienced, or seen my clients experience, usually both, but almost always me and the clients. When this happens, there is this rotation of energy. You could almost say a combined rotational energy field, because both sides of the coin, or the sun and the moon, feed into the gyrational field, or the vortex, or the spiral, and that amps up the potential for creation for combined endeavors, or solo individual endeavors, where both energies are poured into that, but also in terms of how they want to relate to another, like with each other in relationship, because it's a much more let's say they use the word dynamic, because two people coming at something, so complete match, coming at it from left to right like this and doing this, as the name implies, complementary. One, they might have some skills that overlap, so there might be an overlapping of their skills, but they might have some skills that's completely different to the other one. So one skill in one area, one is skilled in another area, and when the two lots of skills come together, they create something quite extraordinary. Let's say for a combined or solo project endeavor, because the combination of the energies can do this, but also for the relationship, because it's a unique dynamic, and it would be a unique dynamic of relationship, because both are matching spiritually, soully, and as human beings. Divine compliments may or may not have historical connection with you, which means they may be in alternate realities with you, or what you would call past lives. I never refer to past lives as past lives now, because past, present, and future are happening now. So I call them alternate realities. They may have alternate reality existent with you, they may not. In some ways, it really doesn't matter, because they're not here to clear that or heal that. They're here to help one another, complement one another, because they're actually the benefits of amplification of the relationship and amplification of the third energy, if you like, what the energy of creation is far greater than doing it individually. So both are powerhouses in their own right, but both help one another by their mere existence and by their mere dance within that gyrational field, within that vortex, within that spiral. So both complement one another and help one another from there, with whatever they decide to do with it, but for themselves personally as human beings, but also for any relationship, a relationship they choose to have from that connection. Can one randomly draw in a complementary connection or a complementary oneness? Same thing, two sort of not merging, but there's an overlap in the gyrational field there. Can one accidentally call one in? No. One has to be a vibrational match, a frequency match, and at a point in their evolution, evolved enough, have done enough time on their own journey, on their own self-work, understanding themselves, cleared enough of their stuff, gotten conscious enough, both of them, because it's an equal match, to attract that situation in. And it is as beautiful and as powerful, but really well balanced, with lots of synchronicity and magic and amazing things, than really any big spiritual connections I've seen, because in many ways divine complements, they don't have the complications of one soul beings or twin flames. They don't have the complications of that. They don't have karmic complications or clearing bloodlines complications that the old form of those connections had, or anything like that, because they're at a different point of their evolution where that isn't their remit. Their remit is to live from the energy of now, in this second and moment, and complement one another, dance with one another, assist one another, create together. So much of the remit is how they are in relation with one another. Divine complements don't come in if there isn't the possibility of relating to one another, because we have every other form of connection in the book that can tick that box. And some we relate to, some we don't relate to. Divine complements can walk alongside one with infinite possibility of whatever they want to do with that. And of course there is free will involved, because that's the nature of being a human being. And some people don't want to dive, well, I was going to say don't want to dive the whole way in, but then you could say to me, why wouldn't they? Because there's nothing negative in it whatsoever. It's amazing. But by people's free will, sometimes they want to express a divine complement connection in a particular way. But it's always amazing. The connection is amazing. And if one is at a level where they've drawn that in, they've called it in, it isn't random. So both the sun and the moon and both sides of the coin have called it in and said, here I am. So they're at a point of their consciousness where they have enough consciousness present and enough of the heavy magnetized soul energy out of the way, so it doesn't repel anyone or get in the way, that they are able to do this, and quite magical, beautiful things happen, both in terms of the revelations and of meeting one another, but also in terms of anything they want to create, but also in terms of any kind of relationship they want to have with it. And humans do what humans do. They sometimes they make the choices on what kind of relationship to have with it, but it can be right across the board here, because these are fantastic connections. Love of, they can be great love of your life connections, lifetime partner connections, rest of your days connections, big romance, or friends that are inseparable, things like that, because of the synergy and the harmonious resonance and the way they are able to do this without the complications of other connections, without the complications of having to clear the humanity stuff, without the complications of the heaviness of the magnetics of the soul. These are matching without any of that in the way, and they are all about here and now and relating to one another, relating to others, and creation. So if one has drawn in a divine complement, one should be very happy about that and take that as a big fat sign from the universe that you've come a long way and have earned that and deserved that, and also called it in and it's been answered, because you're capable of matching that, you're capable of living it and being it. And these have these have the potential for longevity on them, because they have that resonance and synergy and harmony, because they are about living it and creating it, the potential to live and create together, both within a living, dynamic, vibrant relationship that feeds both powerhouses, but also anything they do combined with one another. And on that note, I will love you and leave you. I promised I'd keep it short. As always, thank you for watching, thank you for resonating, and thank you for your time and for your attention. Take care.